Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Eloise. I hope everyone is doing great. So tonight we're doing a little impromptu unboxing. I just got this in the mail and I thought it would be a good idea to do a little unboxing. So I got MDCI's Cuir Garamante, which I was thinking about for such a long time. I'm really loving the house of MDCI. I feel like they have a lot of classic fragrances. They have the popular Chypre Palatin, obviously, and then I have two more fragrances from them. I recently got La Belle Hélène, which is a floral, very feminine, floral, creamy, vintagey-like fragrance. And this one is a leather fragrance, and I did test this a few times, but it was out of those little dabber samples, which is fine, but I feel like I need to spray the fragrance. I have to spray it on me. It has to come from a bottle that sprays. So it's not a blind buy, I guess, but I can't wait to see what the experience is like when I spray it out of the actual full-size bottle. So this is a 75 ml. It's an Eau de Parfum concentration, and Cuir Garamante is a leather-based fragrance. But I remember from testing it, it's not anything too dark and deep. It's nothing crazy over-the-top leather. And then I ordered, because this was a tester, so it's not even coming in a box. It's coming wrapped like this. I ordered Créme de Cuir by the house of BDK, which, to be completely honest, I feel like, not that I said this on any of my videos, but in my own mind, I was sort of hating on the house of BDK. And it's because my experience with them was with Gris Chanel, the Extrait, which was such a disappointment. And I gave into the hype, and I also bought a bottle of Passé Soir, the Extrait version, and it was awful. And I have a travel size of the Tonka, the vanilla Tonka, which is nothing really impressive. And then I sampled the Leather Vanille because it is a Dominique Ropion creation, so I had high hopes, and it was so-so. So I really haven't been interested in the house of BDK, to be quite honest, but I saw a few reviews, and I have similar taste to Scented Moments, and he bought a bottle of this and said good things, and this tester sort of presented itself right in front of my face at a good price when I was shopping for the Cuir Garamante. It's the same website that I got these on, so I went with it. I've never tried this, so we're gonna try it now for the first time. And then I got myself, let's get rid of this box. And then I got myself a travel size decant of Dia 40. I have the regular Dia, and when I got the regular Dia, I had compared it to a sample of Dia 40, and I went with the regular Dia in the 1.7 in the smaller size. And I since smelled Dia 40 on a friend of mine who went with this version, and it smelled really, really good. So I decided to take the opportunity that this website had a decant as an option. So I thought it would be a good idea to do a side-by-side comparison, maybe even on video. So yeah, this is Amouage's Dia 40, which is the 40% oil concentration, as opposed to the regular Dia, which is a powdery, musky, clean type of fragrance. I talked about it in a few videos, and it's like a clean bar of soap, but it's very musky. And I have a feeling from memory that the Dia 40 is creamier and maybe a fluffier version. So I don't know why I went with the regular one, I just did. But I want to try the Dia 40 and see what I think. So let's start with Cuir Garamante by MDCI. Yeah, so I'm liking this house. I like the idea of their classic fragrances. I like the shapes of the bottles. I guess they have sort of that vibe, and they want to give off that image with the style and the tassels. I find it quite charming. And I do like the fragrances that I've gotten my nose on and the ones that I own. There are a few Cécile Zarokian, or maybe one Cécile Zarokian, and there's one that I want to try. It's a Bertrand Duchefort, and it features pear. It would be a blind buy, or maybe I should just get a sample, but I'm not sure about the pear. I would imagine that it would be like a nice, clean, sort of fresh fragrance. It does get good reviews, But the one that I saw, and I can't remember the name, by Cecile Zerokian, I think is reviewed as being very sweet. The one from Bertrand Duchaufour that features the pear, I can't remember what it's called. I'll look it up and put the name when I edit the video. But let's open Cuir Garamante. They have another leather fragrance, Cuir Cavalier, I think it's called. But I was attracted to the idea of this one when I got the samples. So the presentation is just like the Chypre Palatin and La Belle Hélène that I have. The other fragrance that I have is in the rectangular. It's like a special series, so the bottle is completely different. It's very fancy, and it has like a gold scrolling all over it, and it's also very vintage looking. But these to me look like apothecary bottles. They're so cute, and I love the tassel. They keep it simple, but simple and elegant sometimes is perfectly fine by me. Nice atomizer, very nice. It's really fresh and leathery straight away. There's no sweetness in here. It's nice and spiced. I think there's a little pepper. I think there's saffron in here. But aside from the saffron, I know there's a leather note and there's rose, and the rose absolutely comes through. I get the rose and this nice, soft sort of leather that kind of is a nice backdrop to this peppered rose. It's nice. I like that it's not sweet, and it's not a hefty leather fragrance. I mean, this is not like a Corpus Equus by Naomi Goodsir that I talked about in my last video with the samples. It's not a heavy-duty, strong animalic leather. It's done in a subdued way for sure. It's more of a soft texture, but I like the scent profile. I enjoy it. And the leather that comes to mind, I'm picturing this sort of like tan leather, almost like a bone color, but darker and broken in. This has a little softness to it because it's broken in, like that type of smooth leather. It's delicate. It's delicate, it's spiced, it's unisex, it's aromatic. Let's see what the notes are on Profumo. On Profumo, this gets an 8 out of 10. It's a 2013 release. It's a leathery, spicy, woody, oriental, sweet fragrance. It's definitely not a sweet fragrance to my nose. It's really aromatic in the opening with the rose and the leather sort of texture. That's what I get. Aromatic, the rose, peppery, little fresh with this leathery texture that's soft, very soft leather, nothing heavy birch tar or animalic. So there's saffron, nutmeg, pink pepper. Yeah, that explains the opening. And then there's rose and leather, oud, papyrus. And then you have labdanum and sandalwood, some bourbon vanilla, and frankincense. So I like this. It's fresh, it's peppery, and it's a nice, soft, delicate leather fragrance. It's very classy. I think it smells really classy, and I think I'm going to enjoy this one. So, successful semi-blind buy. So this one, the BDK, is a total blind buy. And it was a good price, if I'm being honest. And in terms of the presentation, the bottles, this one's definitely heavier than the MDCI. They're hefty. The cap is also like pretty thick and hefty. They're heavy. And the label is a simple label, nothing spectacular. This is the 100 ml, and it's Eau de Parfum concentration. And the cap is a little snug. So let's see what this one smells like. I hate spraying on test strips. I really need things to be on skin. But when you're doing testing fragrance videos like the last one that I did, obviously there's not enough space on skin. So it comes off fluffy. It does come off creamy. Crème de Cuir. It's, the name is really fitting for sure. Comes off slightly sweet. See now, the House of BDK, they love to add sweetness in fragrances. I guess Pas Ce Soir and Gris Chanel are not sweet, so I take that back. But a lot of the fragrances have sweetness and higher doses of sweetness. This one's not bad. It's a little musky. It's not too sweet, but since I just smelled Cuir Garamante that doesn't have like that creamy sweetness, that BDK, I feel a lot of the fragrances, they like to be sweet. I think I'm noticing it even more. It's a fluffy, creamy, musky, clean fragrance, and it's pleasant. It's very pleasant, nothing mind-blowing. The sweetness seems to be coming from something vanilla. In terms of leather, I'm not getting anything leathery. Now, Cuir Garamante is also not a big leather fragrance, but there is a texture in there that's sort of reminiscent of a soft, sort of suede-y leather, so to speak. It's very spiced. Cuir Garamante is spiced, and it's got that nutmeg, and that comes through together with the rose. Wow, I didn't realize how the rose plays a bigger part than I thought from the tester. That's why you need to spray these things out of a bottle, or at least a tester with a spray, which I try to do, but sometimes it gets so expensive. This one is not as complex as the one on my left. This turned into a comparison video. This is very simple. It's a simple, creamy fragrance that's musky and clean, not too sweet, slightly vanillic. It's fluffy, I like that. And it's not linear, but it's certainly not a complex fragrance. I could see wearing this out of the shower or as a comforting fragrance when I'm home or at night when I put my PJs on. I could see it as a comforting fragrance. I like it. There's nothing not to like, but there's nothing spectacular, but it's very smooth. I will say it's a very smooth, fluffy fragrance. Let's look up the notes and see. I'm curious. So on Profumo, actually, Créme de Cuir gets an 8.1, and they characterize it as a leathery, creamy, spicy, woody, sweet fragrance. I guess if there's a texture to it, it would be suede, more of a suede, where Cuir Garamante is a soft leather. It's a soft, sort of thin leather that's almost like a bone color, like a cream color in my mind. Now, Créme de Cuir is more like a suede leather, and it's coming off like creamy and almost white. So it's a cleaner fragrance in terms of what I'm visualizing when I'm smelling it. So there's pineapple, mandarin orange, and bergamot, suede, sandalwood, and a solar note with pink pepper, musk, vanilla absolute, and birch in the base. Wow, so I did not expect that note breakdown. To me, it's coming off like a smooth combination of, I guess, some of those notes. I'm not experiencing it in layers the way, for instance, the Cuir Garamante opens up aromatic and peppery, and then I get that rose, and then I have this sort of soft leather texture to the fragrance. I like it so much. The Créme de Cuir comes off as one fluffy, creamy, suede-like musky fragrance. I did not pick up on that pineapple note whatsoever. It's nice. It's soft. It's clean. It's very nice. So Créme de Cuir, I will have to wear this a bit more, and maybe when I review this, some of the other elements or some of the other notes will become apparent, and I'll experience it in a different way. Maybe the comparison, the side-by-side with the Cuir Garamante, sort of affected how this one came off. Because it's curious that I'm not picking up on that pineapple note or the bergamot or the citrus. It just came off straight away like a soft, creamy, fluffy fragrance that feels, I guess, suede-like and musky, and I like that it's not too sweet. So that's great from the house of BDK. Pleasantly surprised. It's not too sweet. I like it. Créme de Cuir. So the Dia 40 I will save. I'm not going to spray it since I just sprayed these two, and this one is a completely different fragrance. So we'll save this one, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison with the Dia, and that'll be a fun video to sort of see what the differences are. So thank you so much for joining me for my unboxing of the Cuir Garamante that I've been wanting to get. It's been on my wish list, actually, and the BDK Créme de Cuir. Thank you so much for your comments, your support, and for watching. Let me know if you guys have smelled these fragrances, and if you have, what you think. Let me know in the comments. As usual, until next time, bye guys.